Allah can judge me. This phrase is thrown around quite often, mostly by those wanting to find a loophole to justify their questionable actions. In a time where there is an explosion of knowledge on the internet and many people are starting to learn and practice their deen, there are many still entangled in the web of desires. Many Muslims today are using statements like, "Don't judge me," or "Only God can judge me," to run away from advice. The Sahaba, when advised to fear Allah, would thank the person who had just reminded them, with tears in their eyes. Today, if someone questions our behavior, we feel we are being accused, or worse, insulted. Instead, we start to retort by finding fault with the person advising us and saying, "Hey, you aren't perfect, you can't tell me what to do." Well, if that were the case, no one on the face of the earth across the stretch of time could advise anyone else save the Prophet of Allah himself. By the standards of Prophet Muhammad, these are feeble excuses fit to be given only by the immature. The companions of the Prophet sinned, so who are we in comparison? We need to embrace the concept that we could have done something wrong. We should actually be thankful that we have someone as a friend or family who has taken the time out to come and advise us. If not for love and care towards us, why would someone else care what we do? Think about it. When we utter these words, do we even pause to think of the implication? Allah, the one from whom nothing is hidden, the all-seeing, the all-hearing, is being called upon to judge us when we utter these words. This is where the hitch comes in, where we think, "Oh, Allah is Al-Rahman and Al-Rahim, he'll forgive me." Yes, he might, but not if we show arrogance whilst sinning. We also need to remember that Allah is Shadid al-Iqab. Why should we bother with what others do? Firstly, because Allah tells us to, "Let there arise out of you a group of people inviting to all that is good, Islam, enjoining al-Ma'ruf, i.e. Islamic monotheism and all that Islam orders one to do, and forbidding al-Munkar, polytheism and disbelief and all that Islam has forbidden. And it is they who are successful." Surah Al-Imran 3-104. Secondly, if my fellow Muslim sins, then yes, it does have an impact on me. If one part of the body is infected, it weakens the whole body. We have the story of how the people of Musa were denied rain just because of the actions of one man. Allah tells us, "Corruption has appeared on land and in the sea for what men's hands have earned, that he may make them taste a part of that which they have done, that they may return." Surah Al-Rum 30-41. If the Ummah fails to do its duty of enjoining what is good and forbidding what is evil, wrong, or corrupt, then it will spread throughout the Ummah, and it will deserve the curse of Allah. For Allah cursed those among the children of Israel who disbelieved because they failed in this important duty. Allah tells us, "Those among the children of Israel who disbelieved were cursed by the tongue of David, and Isa, Jesus, son of Maryam, Mary. That was because they disobeyed Allah and the messengers, and were ever transgressing beyond bounds. They used not to forbid one another from al-Munkar, wrong, evil doing, sins, polytheism, disbelief, which they committed. Vile indeed was what they used to do." Surah Al-Ma'idah 5-78. Abu Bakr al-Siddiq narrates, "I heard Allah's messenger say, when people see something objectionable and do not change it, Allah will soon include them all in his punishment." Al-Tirmidhi, Prophet Muhammad said, "If you see a munkar, un-Islamic act, you change it with your hand, and if you cannot do that, then change it with your mouth, speak out against it, and if you cannot do even that, then forbid it in your heart, and that is the least of belief." Muslim, Allah's messenger in a hadith Qudsi tells us, "Let not any one of you belittle himself." They said, "O Messenger of Allah, how can any one of us belittle himself?" He said, "He finds a matter concerning Allah about which he should say something, and he does not say it. So Allah, mighty and sublime be he, says to him on the day of resurrection, 'What prevented you from saying something about such and such and such and such?' He says, 'It was out of fear of people.' Then he says, 'Rather it is I whom you should more properly fear.'